Huge impact on the Pats offense, even the running game. Sage?
Brutal injury news out of the NBA. Take a look at what happened last night in Indianapolis as Pacers all-star guard Victor Oladipo collapsed to the floor during last night's win over the Raptors. Today, he was diagnosed with a ruptured quad tendon in his right knee. He is out for the rest of the year. The 6-year guard out of Indiana will need surgery. No word yet on when that will take place. But again, the Pacers' worst fears were realized today when the diagnosis came down. Here's head coach Nate McMillan.
He's a special player, special person, and he's doing some good things. You know, his team's playing good basketball, and to have to lose him, you know, it'll be tough, but, you know, we'll have to continue to move on.
I called him last night and talked to him on the phone. He was very high-spirited, you know, and that's typical Vic. He made me smile on the phone when I heard him. You know, he was like, "I'm good, fam." He was like, "Everything's gonna be good." So I was like, he was like, "Everything's gonna be feathery."
He's one of the heartbeats of this team. You know, he's just his positive energy. You know, his approach he brings to the game. You know, just him as a person means a lot to this organization.
More than anything, the Pacers will miss Oladipo in clutch time situations, which is when the game is within 5 minutes in the final 5, or 5 points in the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter or OT. That's when he is shooting an NBA best 63% in clutch time, 60% from 3. He's been excellent, and Indiana has thrived with him on the court. The Pacers have outscored their opponents by 49 points when Depot is in the game in clutch time. That plus minus of plus 49 tied for the 6th best in the NBA this season. And he helped lead the Pacers to the 4th best record in the league. Their ability to win close games is a big reason why they've been in 15 clutch time situations, won 11 of them when Depot played. That .733 win percentage is the 2nd best record in the NBA behind the Milwaukee Bucks. So this is big time. And when you take a look at the standings in the Eastern Conference, they've been right there all season long. A couple of close, disappointing losses, but right there in 3rd place, 2.5 games behind Milwaukee and the Toronto Raptors. So never a good time for an injury like this, but this was particularly hard for this Pacers team, who this kid has become the franchise. Adrian Wojnarowski joins me now, and it is, again, a ruptured right quad for the Pacers' best player. You could tell right away when he went down last night that it was not good. Give us some context on this injury.
Yeah, and this is an injury that you don't see often in the NBA with basketball players. Tony Parker had it a couple years ago in San Antonio. Charles Barkley a long time ago at the end of his career. But for an athletic, acrobatic player like Victor Oladipo, you know, this is an injury that, you know, can impact all those elements to your body coming back. And so this is a long, arduous rehab for him. You know, the Spurs went through it with Parker, and they'll tell you they didn't have a lot of guideposts, a lot of players to look at in situations that were comparable. You can bet that Indiana is going to take a look at what the Spurs did with Parker, but there are no guarantees from this. He's 26 years old. He's in his prime, but this is a tough road for him. When you say no guarantees for him coming back, ever to get to 100% or within a year? To come back, he's going, listen, every expectation is he'll come back and play in the NBA and probably play it again at a high level. But this was an all-star player in the prime of his career. It's just not an easy one. Okay. Obviously, a huge blow to the organization. The initial reaction is to just fix it, which is always easier said than done. When you look at what their salary cap situation is and their trade deadline exactly 2 weeks from today, I mean, you look at what they've got on their roster. Should there be a temptation, Woj, to do something to make a move? Absolutely not. This isn't a team anymore that is trying to make a move, you know, to get to a conference final. Listen, they're still the 3 seed right now. They're still going to probably be in the playoffs. They've shown they can win without Oladipo. But their core players, Oladipo's 26, and Miles Turner and Sabonis, 22 years old. That's their future. The idea of them going out to do something short-sighted, you're not replacing an all-star guard here. This is different than when Paul George went out in 2014 and it was a veteran team. There's still a core and a future here with the Pacers. Don't expect them to make a dramatic move between now and the deadline. Well, you went right there with Paul George, because for Pacers fans, the first thing everybody thought when they saw Vic last night was Paul George 4.5 years ago, who broke his leg during Summer League in Las Vegas. And of course, Paul George is the man that the Pacers traded for with Victor Oladipo. Paul was asked about the Vic situation today at Thunder shoot-around.
I sent him a text, you know, just to send my wishes, tell him I'm praying for him. But it is tough, especially for a team that's playing so well, Vic playing so well, and, you know, him really just holding it down over there in Indiana. I feel for them. I feel for the fans. I feel for the city, the state, for them to have to go through that again with my injury and now Vic's. It's tough. It's tough for the franchise.